Hello Virgo, welcome to my channel. This is going to be your 2024 forecast for Sun, Moon and Rising. Now you can return back to this video at any point during the course of the year because I will be getting a card for each month of the year, a theme. And what we're going to be exploring is each month of the year in general, okay, the general energies that are going to be affecting you. We're going to get a theme for the whole year. We're going to do a cross of truth to show me where your focus lies, what is working for you, what's working against you, as a challenge potentially for the whole year ahead, and some advice from spirit. So again, you can pop back to this video at any point. Now, let us start with the theme for the year 2024. Virgo 2024. And I will cut the deck. Please remember that energies are non-gender specific. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. The theme for the year is wisdom. Delving deep in the wisdom of your pure, innate knowledge. This will be also your emotional depth, wisdom of how deep you go on an emotional level. It could also talk about spiritual ascension and wisdom of your day-to-day life. So the theme for the whole year is accessing wisdom. Now, wisdom cannot be taught, it can only be experienced. So you are applying both the learnings that you've had over your whole life's experience, and you're trying to match that with the experience that you're taking and seeing what adds up. As a result, you may be finding that certain teachings that you've had over your lifespan does not equate to the wisdom you have collected. Okay, so you are gaining your own internal wisdom. This year is all about wisdom. Very exciting. Right, so we're going to get a card for each day of the month, each month of the year. I'll lay them out first, so just bear with me while I do so I can see it all in front of me before we go ahead. A Virgo, wisdom 2024. A wise man is a man who knows he knows nothing at all. So perhaps wisdom also involves having to unlearn certain things in order to relearn them moment by moment in the present of the now. Okay, so January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, I'm getting goosebumps because it feels like you're gaining wisdom on different aspects of your life. So I'm just going to get your cross of truth and then we will delve in. Okay, current position, desire, what's working in your favor, the challenge, and the outcome. Okay. It's a bit of a topsy-turvy year for you, I'm not going to lie. We have quite a lot of major arcanas. We have some... If you think about someone taking adventure, if you think about Indiana Jones, right? He has moments of elation and then moments of difficulty and then adventure. Some things go wrong and then he fixes it and goes right and then goes wrong and then fixes it and eventually gets his treasure at the end of the year, right? It's kind of a bit like that. You do have a bit of a kind of up and down situation, but that is the only thing that can gain wisdom, that you can gain wisdom on. It's about really expanding your experiences so you can really just gather that wisdom that you're after. Now, in January, we have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is a beautiful, beautiful card. Sometimes this talks about soulmate energy. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It can be a soulmate in terms of someone who is on your spiritual tribe, you know, someone who you're on the complete same wavelength on, It could be a family member, it could be a business colleague, so it doesn't really matter who it is. But January is all about having a meeting of the minds with somebody else. So as we know within our living experiences, our external world reflects back to us what we feel inside. And some people don't really like to hear that, because we say, well, I didn't ask for that experience, I didn't ask for that experience, I didn't ask for that experience. But what it does, it reflects back to us the little niggles we have within either our heart space or our limited belief systems that are preventing us to expand further, okay? Anything where we feel disconnected is really a fear of separation, and separation does not exist. It cannot exist. Everything in the multiverses are all connected, okay? So we buy into certain illusions that there is disconnection there, okay? Now, the reason I'm saying this is because in January you are experiencing a balancing act, a meeting of the minds with either one person or a few people where you have been previously disjointed from, where there was not a very strong connection. Now that connection is coming on in, and you have the opportunity to see something from somebody else's perspective, and they have the opportunity to see it from your perspective. And in the acknowledgement of different points of view, you are coming together in this beautiful union. So it is a beautiful, beautiful energy. It invigorates the heart space and enables you to trust that your perspective is as valid as the other person's perspective. And you have that overview, which is really, really positive. As we move in, I want to say possible as well. So it could be that there's somebody around you where you wouldn't imagine as possible to kind of meet in the middle and to really see eye to eye. You're going to get that in January, which is really, really nice. And it's a bit of an eye-opener, I would say. Now, of course, it could be romantic, and you could be having a beautiful experience in January, either with an existing love affair or a new one. But whatever it is, it's two almost like contrasting elements coming together, which is nice. We always need contrast. We need to complement one another, right? So within that, we move into February. Now, February calls for a judgment that needs to be made. It's a big decision that you need to make, and nobody can make it but you. As it's a major arcana, Spirit is saying, whatever you decide now, it will change the course forever. You could choose to embrace the new or to resurrect the old, okay? So this has all of the feelings of kind of being a little bit at a crossroads and kind of going, I know where I want to go, but is it safer where I am, and should I just stay put? Usually with the judgment, I found anyway that it's always good to keep the momentum going and to move forward into the unknown, because the unknown will it will prevent you from feeling stagnant in any way. And in stagnancy, things can fester, and nobody likes festering. We like to be flowing like water, so we can constantly be filtered and cleansed. So judgment, we do have some guidance on your path for this, okay? You do have some intuitive nudges or niggles that are helping you. I would say that this is spiritual assistance, okay? Your spirit guides or whatever your belief system is with regards to help from the other side, right? There is some guidance there. So look out, keep an eye open for signs and synchronicities, symbols, objects that mean something to you, because these are going to be the things that help you to make the decision that's right for you, to really touch base with your higher self and your intuition. Okay. Now, as we move into March, you are becoming, what was that word? Sorry, it slipped in and slipped out. I want to say like the game player, which is a game changer. Something like that. We've got the Emperor, which is another major arcana. This is a divine masculine who knows what he wants and knows how to achieve it by being one step ahead of the game. He plans forward, he delegates his energy, he has an overarching authority on the big picture. Okay, so he's not necessarily concerned with the here and now in terms of I'm going to spend all my money right now and whip away on holiday and enjoy now. He's more concerned about, if I put some money aside, I know I'll have more in September to go on the massive holiday. Using that as an example. So he is really kind of strategically placing his bet on a future outcome, right, that is in alignment with an overall flavor. So it's not like being whimsical or what's that other word, frivolous in any way. In March, you really are taking the lead of your trajectory moving forward, and this comes after the judgment that you made, this decision. Once you've made the decision, you're like, right, okay, what is it I need to do? I know I need to get rid of this, and get rid of this to make room and space for this new decision that I've brought into my reality, and I need to make sure I can accommodate it. Okay? This could also, again, refer to matters of the heart, whereby if you had a strong union with someone in January, February, you're like, oh, do I take this further, or does it fizzle out, you know? And in March, you are, whatever decision you've made, you're now taking it to the next level, and you're planning ahead for the future. Emperor is all to do with motivation, creation, action. But the action is not like charging forward, going rah. It's basically kind of going, I'm going to make my move there, then there, then there, because I know that the course will run to that point where I want to be. Okay? Sometimes to step back is to step forward quicker. It's got all of that sort of energy attached to it. Now, April, we've got the Knight of Swords. So we've got a lot of communication coming in that's going to maybe be a little bit jarring, because it feels quite forceful. Okay? Forceful in the sense that it's racing forward, and you have to act quick. So this could be the things that you are doing. This could be the energy that you are embracing of, like, once you have made your strategy, your game plan, now you've got to follow it up with the communication, technology, all of that, right? You could be in receiving mode of that too, where you're bombarded with loads of technology. Perhaps you're spending too much screen time. Perhaps you are, it just seems like a lot that is going on. A lot to do with communication and a lot to do with technology, which is kind of really kind of the flavor of April. But the good thing is that by adding extra force to that and meeting it at its arrival level, if it's like kind of coming at you strong and heavy, stay on top of it, stay on top of it, stay on top of it, because as you move into May, you get the same card that Taurus did, another earth sign, in the same position. 9 of Cups. Okay, so the 9 of Cups is your wish fulfillment. So whatever you were strategizing on, I don't even know if that's a word, whatever you were planning, having made your decision forward, you backed it up with communication and correspondence and technology and drive, okay? And now you are in receiving mode of this wish fulfillment. And the wish fulfillment, again, is everything to do with the heart space, okay? In understanding a deeper wisdom within yourself. Perhaps for some of you, you are recognizing that in order to really get what it is that you want, you have to vocalize, you have to express it, you have to speak it. Sometimes you have to speak to people you feel uncomfortable speaking to, or talk about things that you're uncomfortable talking about. It could even have elements of counseling involved in this. Whatever happens, however this is playing out for you, because this is a general reading, having gone through that bombardment of communication and exchange and technology, you are reaping the rewards in May. You have a moment where something you've really been hoping for, really been counting on, really been planning for, and it comes to fruition. Okay, something that is kind of filling the heart space, and nobody can take it away from you once it's there. Even, for example, if you had started a new relationship with somebody and it was amazing and momentous for you, for your life, and even if it fizzled away, nobody can take that experience away from you. It's got all the energies of that longevity attached, in terms of, I know, this is where the wisdom comes in. I know that when I shift my focus, when I try a new measure, when I make a decision, and when I apply myself, I can receive the things that I've been dreaming of, okay? And it may not be a big thing that you're dreaming for. It may just be small, but I see you achieving it in May. It's beautiful. Now, as we move into June, we get the Hierophant. So in having gone through that level, the first half of the year, you are receiving higher information from the spiritual plane, or from your intuition, okay? Perhaps you are taking things up a level and you are seeking higher learning. So it could be on the physical plane or the spiritual plane, but I do see a moving up, an understanding, a deeper wisdom coming in from the heart space. You've received it in the heart space, you've received it in the mental body, you've received it in the physical body with the Emperor, the Knight of Swords, the Nine of Cups, Two of Cups. And now you're kind of bridging the gaps between it, and you're putting all of those elements together, and you're kind of going, I get it, okay? Or even after receiving that information, that higher wisdom, you're thinking to yourself, I want to know more. I'm going to set myself this target to understand even more, and so I'm going to follow this person or this person, or I'm going to enroll in this course or this course for my own personal development. It is beautiful. Okay, as we move into July, it's like it's like the year happens in like two sections for you. You've got the first half of the year and the second half of the year. As you've applied and received that higher training, that higher understanding, that higher wisdom, right? July presents a little bit of a veil for you to work through. Now, we've got the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords can talk about a lying, cheating, stealing energy. It can also talk about strategy, okay? It can talk about things behind the veil. It can talk about masked energy. It is not necessarily a bad card. It can be a very positive card. Depends on how you use the energies, which is why you're watching this, right? So you can make the most of the energies. Seven of Swords has to do with something that has been done behind the veil. Now you can apply that to spirituality, where you're doing stuff on a higher level where you're not seeing the physical results in front of you, but you know there's a lag, you know there's a delay, and it's going to come into your reality. It could also be a situation where someone has not been forthright or transparent in their motivations or agenda. This could be a close connection. This could be grand institutions at large, or like an employer, an agency. It could be any one of those things where it wasn't so clear cut. And this is now the next step of you gaining wisdom. You are picking up, because you've ascended to this level within the Hierophant card, right? You're picking up on energies around you that are not presenting itself in reality yet, but you're kind of picking all of this stuff up. And slowly but surely it's coming to light, something that was hidden from you, okay? And so this is the next step of your wisdom. How do you deal with that? How do you address that? How do you remove the veil and see the truth as it should be and is? Whether that's through your higher self and your intuition, or your physical reality around you, okay? But it definitely seems that I would say that it's a bit of a surprise, maybe even a shocker, right? That it's almost like you didn't see this coming. But as it unfolds in front of you, all it's really doing is serving a hunger within you to ensure that you will always find the inner truth. And the inner truth can be perceived and discerned within our heart space, okay, and what the facts and figures really present. So as we move into August, now I see you just kind of taking smaller steps physically to path your trail. Sorry, I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. So the Knight of Pentacles is a kind of energy of slow and steady wins a race. He's not kind of jumping too far ahead. He's not kind of employing any drastic measures. He's kind of following tried and tested measures and taking one step in front of the other, one step in front of the other. It's almost as if, for example, if something was revealed to you that was of a kind of a hidden agenda or a motive behind, I feel once that you've kind of understood that at a deep level, physically what you're doing is you're taking smaller steps. So instead of charging forward, you're kind of going, okay, I'm just going to take it nice and easy. Knight of Pentacles is all about kind of methodical action, okay? Taking a step back and kind of going, there's no need for me to race forward on this. I know that if I do it slow and steady, I'm definitely going to get to where it is I need to go. Slight glitch over there because my battery was exhausted. But anyway, I was talking about the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles sees you basically slowing your movement forward because it seems to feel a little bit more reliable. Okay, so as we move into September, we start to have this internal balance happen within you. We've got the Justice card. So if for any reason you had experience, we've got May, June, July. If in July you have any sort of unforeseen events where things were hidden from you or perhaps a little bit deceitful in nature, you will get the balance and the justice come September. Okay, this is when things are coming into balance. They have the karmic return. Okay, so anything of a legal nature, anything where you are having to evidence things, you are going to get the return. The Justice card is all about what you put in, you get out. So things, the scales are coming back into balance and you feel a bit more self-assured. Any wrongdoings that was had is now returned back to you and you are finding your equilibrium again. All right? Now, as we move September, October, as we move into October, we have a big shift that's coming forward for you. We've got the Death card, which talks about the death of a cycle, the end of a cycle as you transform into a new space. And this is where the wisdom is really taking charge for you. You're starting to see internal growth, okay? So the internal growth has got to do with your the wisdom is taking on a deeper level, okay? Remember we had that wisdom card and you dive into the depths. Because it's in water, it talks about the emotional body as well, but the light is also reflective of your spiritual nature. So in October, we have a bit of a change to the circumstance. It could have been that what you started in the beginning of the year takes on a different form. It metamorphosizes into new growth, okay? Almost slightly a new direction. It's a bit of a game changer where you were the game player in March. In October, you start to see that grand transformation, okay? It's starting to mold into the thing that you desired. So now it may come as a result of the Justice card in September, beg your pardon. So it could have been that what you start in the first course of the year, the latter part of the year, things, again, Justice, Death, and we've got the next card, which is the Fool, which I'll talk about shortly. These are major arcanas. So these are major events that are happening in your life, meaning that that which is now coming to fruition and you see it for what it truly is, then there's a huge transformation in your life, how you're moving forward. So for some of you, if you were in a partnership, perhaps that comes to an end and there's an ending and a transformation. Or if you were in a partnership that is now taking on a whole new level once any misunderstandings have been rectified. Okay, if you're talking about some sort of legal situation or you're needing to purchase some sort of property, again, following September, in October, you'll see things actually start to change course in your favor. The Death card is a beautifully favorable card, which shows you that there has been some internal growth, some wisdom that is acquired, and it changes your foresight and how you view the world and your situation around you. What that sets you up for in November is the Fool card. Okay, so you are now taking a whole new leap of faith in November. The Fool card is really all to do with seeing potential, seeing growth, and willing to basically bet on your own truth and your own happiness. So when the Fool card comes up with that potential, it talks about a brand new cycle in your life. Okay? So you've gone from kind of taking it a bit slow, you know, in August and in September things start to kind of rectify itself, okay, and you feel a bit more on top of things, okay, and then once that happens, you're able to transform situations in your life so that can set you up, create a clean slate for you to now take a leap of faith into the unknown. The leap of faith could be a move, it could be a relationship, it could be a new business, it could be turning from working in an employment situation to becoming self-employed, or it could be a travel beyond, right? It is a new cycle. You've not done this before, and it's very, very, very exciting. By the end of the year in December, we've got the Four of Cups. So as normal, when everyone comes to December time, they kind of look at their lives and the year as it has been, and they're starting to find out, okay, well, they reflect on the year. What was the good, the bad, the ugly, all of that sort of stuff. Now, the Four of Cups is really a card where you feel a little bit emotionally discontent. You can see what you've achieved in front of you. You can see where things are all right, but perhaps you are not willing to look at what the future may bring in terms of possibility and excitement. Okay, see, as every card in tarot, you always have a positive trait and a negative trait, and it really comes down to how you choose to believe it. The glass is half full or the glass is half empty, right? The Four of Cups can talk about feeling a little bit lethargic, a little bit kind of, all right, you know, emotionally it's okay, but you would like better, but it's all right. And the choice lies in, do you stay with the meh, or do you reach for the fourth cup, which is made available to you? It's usually a gift coming from the universe in the form of the ship in the corner over here. I don't know if you can see that, okay? But it does say that no man is an island. We all need people around us. We can't insulate ourselves for too long. We do need the nurturing and the company and the connection from others. We also need the lover's support of that which can express itself as a new adventure in our life, okay? So in this particular card, it's saying no man is an island. There is a ship that's passing by. If you wake up and stop snoozing, you will see the new opportunity that's just around the corner for you, okay? So if you're feeling a little bit lethargic in December, then fear not. Don't worry. There is something that's just on the peripheral of your view that wants to come in and fill you up emotionally. And what that could also reflect of is the wisdom and the lessons attained throughout the course of the year. You've done the waves, okay? You've been surfing the highs and the lows this year. Most of this is, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, 6. Half of the year for you is Major Arcana, which is kind of predestined energy. Currents of life that you are going to swim into your life, swarm into your life, and you have to just kind of flow with it, regardless of what your temporary day-to-day action is. So half the year is kind of destiny bound, all right? So as long as you come to the end of the year and try and choose to look at the future, choose to widen your perspective, you will see that there's a fourth cup that's being offered by the universe to give to you, okay? So When we move on to the cross of truth, this tells me kind of the general perspective and trajectory of your year. Your baseline is the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords is that returning energy that you keep revisiting throughout the course of the year. The King of Swords has got to do with, let me look at the facts, the figures, the details, the small print, the truth. He is a truth seeker, okay? And he wants evidence in front of him. So throughout the course of the year, you keep returning back to this element of, let me kind of check in with myself and gather my intel to really see where I stand. This could also mean that at many points throughout the year, you're having to deal with legal situations. You're having to deal with an element of bureaucracy, or deal with an element of dealing with members of authority over you, okay? And there keeps to be like a return. And every time that happens, you're checking with yourself of like, okay, but what does that mean for me? And what is the truth of the situation? And how can I, having known and acquired all this information, and my wisdom and my experience, so we've got the knowledge and the experience now building into wisdom, how do I take that next step? The desire is the Ace of Cups. Ultimately, Virgo, you want a brand new beginning in love. And when I say a brand new beginning in love, it does not always necessarily mean romantic love or a renewal of a current relationship that you were in. This means love for the self. It's like you want a brand new beginning with yourself again. You want to kind of feel your heart. New beginnings bring an element of excitement, you know. It has that honeymoon period, that feeling of excitement of anything is possible. And we can always achieve that by bringing that energy and using the energy within ourselves. And I feel that while it can be reflected into the people around ourselves, ultimately what it is for you, Virgo, is finding that falling in love with yourself and the excitement of what you may do next. And how can you surprise yourself? How can you keep, you know, if you think about being in a relationship for a long period of time, and sometimes it reaches a bit of a plateau phase where we, you know, think we have to find new ways to spice up our love life, to generate a newness and excitement in it. I see you employing these measures within yourself, okay? It's like, how do you keep the fire going? How do you keep your heart full? One of the ways is by returning to the heart, okay? Putting the mind to one side, returning to the heart. So this could be some sort of spiritual practices that you are trying to develop over the course of the year of self-love, okay? Because as soon as we are feeling it within ourselves, we see it reflected back to us over the course of the year. Now, the thing that's been going to be favorable for you throughout the course of the year is a Two of Wands, okay? Now you may think, oh no, Robyn, I don't want to, how is that favorable for me? The reason it's favorable is because the Two of Wands is at a crossroads. You can go one way or another. It's really up to him to decide. But instead of having one path and it being restricted to that one path, limited to that one path, the positive aspect of this is that you keep identifying month after month that there's always a choice available to you. It all depends on your choosing. What do you prefer to experience, okay? So this is going to come up quite frequently over the course of the year. As you look forward, you kind of go, I could go this way, I could go this way. I could react in this way, or I could react in this way, okay? I could do this for myself, or I could forget about myself and do everything for somebody else, okay? And you keep returning to that crossroads of that choice. That moment that you make a choice will set the path forward, okay? And the beautiful thing about this is what it means is that whatever decision you make, it's not set in stone. You can change it because you're going to return back to another little cross in the path, you know. The branches, the tree branches out to experience different perspectives. So you're going to have that opportunity to keep, what's the word? Keep rectifying, or like, it's like carving something. tweaking something. It's like you start off like this, and then eventually by the end of the year you're finding more of your natural path, rather than having the full foresight at the beginning and not learning anything along the way. Okay, each of these stumbling blocks for you is going to present another fork in the road, another fork in the road, another fork in the road. This means that nothing you do is going to have a limited outcome. Okay, it enables you to keep the mind open. Now, the challenge that's going to happen throughout the course of the year is the Two of Cups, which means that there could be someone around you that you are struggling to see eye to eye. That which you started off with in the beginning of the year, of seeing eye to eye, with somebody who is who has contrasting elements compared to you, like opposites, right? The challenge will keep appearing in the course of the year. To maybe there will be struggles, ongoing struggles of seeing eye to eye. Okay, so of course this could reflect in a romantic partnership, business partnership, family member, doesn't matter. What the challenge is actually bringing you is again an invitation to gain wisdom. And the wisdom here is always to try and see something from a different perspective, to be flexible, to bend yourself, to try and understand from different perspectives. Again, what that does, it opens a gateway of a higher perspective, a higher understanding. And you're going to have smaller experiences throughout the course of the year that's going to keep kind of drilling that home of like, yes, okay, there is a disconnect there. Why is there a disconnect? How can you move around that barrier to try and see? And you may be saying to me, even if you return back to this video in, I don't know, September, October, and you say to me, but Robyn, that person is not seeing from my perspective. I'm doing everything I can to see from theirs, but they're not seeing from mine. The question still lies is, well, if that's a problem, if someone cannot reflect back to you what you're reflecting to them, then it's got everything to do with them and nothing to do with you. Okay, so sometimes we tend to force our perspective on somebody else, or vice versa, because we so desperately want to be in agreement with people. So part of the wisdom you may be learning this year is how to be okay with being in disagreement. Okay, are you okay with going, okay, you know what, that person's got their thing, I've got mine, both are equally valid, but their stuff is about them, my stuff is about me. And when you have enough experiences like that, you can kind of develop an element of acceptance. And when there's acceptance sets in, then it kind of loosens that that conflict, that resistance to try for them to see it your way, or vice versa. And when you soften that resistance, then it's there's less conflict. Okay, and you can just sort of go about your way, and sometimes phases do need to kind of dissolve and move out into different areas. The outcome, according to all of these snippets that are going to be happening throughout the course of the year, it's like a repeating kind of cycle, is the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups is this energy of sorrow and regret, that the things that we had hoped for, the things that we invested our heart and energy into, did not pan out the way we wanted it to. But in this card, there's two. He is crying because 3 cups in front have spilt over, and he cannot see the 2 full cups that are upright that are behind him. So constantly throughout the course of the year, you are going to be arriving at a point initially of an old version of you, of regret, of like, why did I bother? Or, you know, I put so much into it and didn't come out, or whatever, fill in the blank, right? You're going to be arriving at that point frequently. That's the old version of you. The new, wiser version of you is going to see that as a blessing in disguise, and then turn around, see the full cups behind him, which represent the future. Remember that 4th cup that's been offered by the heavens by the end of the year. and you're going to have that reset again. So you're going to firstly go, it feels like by the end of the year you'll slip more into the new phase of you rather than the old despair phase. The tendency is to be regretful, but then soon you'll start to shift your focus and kind of go, okay, that didn't go according to plan because it was meant to be in that direction, because I have something better around the corner. Something better is waiting for me. Okay, so that kind of energy, that shift in focus is going to happen quite frequently over the course of the year. By the end of the year, you would have dispelled a bit of the old version now that you've gained that higher wisdom within yourself. So it's quite a learning curve for a year, but I feel like lots is happening, and there is a lot of success over here, but it feels to me that with each success that you have, you're learning more about yourself and you're rechecking within yourself, but is this what I really want? And then going forward, but is this what I really want? So it is like you are really honing in to what happiness represents to you completely. Right now, your oracle card is unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. So this is why this year is so important for you to gain wisdom, because in gaining wisdom, you are releasing these attachments that were either informed upon you at birth and through your society as you grew up, or even past lives and contracts that you made with other people around you. Okay? That's what this year is all about. And as you gain wisdom at every point, at every step, you start to see, I feel this cord attachment to this, which I no longer want to buy into, and I'm going to sever that tie. And I'm going to sever that tie. And it's going to be a gradual process, but by the end of the year, you will feel a lot more freedom within the self. So it is beautiful. It's a wonderful reading, Virgo. Up and down, but you've got this. I mean, you're gaining more wisdom than most star signs will be. So that's what I have for you. I really hope it helped. I hope it resonated. Now, don't go away just yet. If you stay on this video, you'll see the window pop up for another forecast for 2024, and it's the channeling with Anak Sanja and their forecast for what they see coming up in 2024, which may be helpful for you if you are interested in channeling. Oh, there's a bird in the window. So you can click on that, check that out. Again, you can return to that. If you would like a personal tarot reading or a personal channeling, check out my website, loveitmore.com. Otherwise, have a beautiful year and make it happen. Take care. Bye.